Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Simone here. Today I'm going to be filming the 5th part of my BookTubers favourite book series. I'm going to be talking about 5 specific BookTubers who I really love and I really want to shout out and talk about their favourite books. I will link the playlist down below of the other 4 videos of this I've already done, and I hope that you enjoy them and would like to keep watching because I have a few more coming actually. I still have quite a few people that commented, so I have quite a few videos still left to do. Yes, so let's get started. So the first booktuber that I want to talk about is Edith from the channel Shadow and Books. I recently discovered Edith's channel and I absolutely love it. She's very articulate. She reads a lot of like books similar to, I think, to what I read. Not so much the thriller side. I think she reads a lot of the kind of more popular books that I read. She reads a lot of other books as well, but I think that's generally where our sort of similarities lie. And I absolutely love her channel. I think she really is articulate about the books that she talks about, and I just think that she deserves more followers, more subscribers, because she's so wonderful. And her favourite book is actually a book that I don't know anything about, and I've heard about this author before, but I've never read a book by her, and that is I Was Born for This by Alice Oseman. So as far as I know, this is a contemporary LGBTQ young adult book. And I'll just read you the synopsis quickly from my computer. So it says, for Angel Rahimi, life is only about one thing: the Ark, a pop rock trio of teenage boys who are currently taking the world by storm. Being part of the Ark's fandom has given her everything: her friendships, her dreams, her place in the world. Jimmy Cargo Ritchie owes everything to the Ark too. He's their frontman, and playing in a band is all he's ever dreamed of doing. It's just a shame that recently everything in his life seems to have turned into a bit of a nightmare. Because that's the problem with dreaming. Eventually, inevitably, real life arrives with a wake-up call, and when Angel and Jimmy are unexpectedly thrust together, they will discover just how strange and surprising facing up to reality can be. So the only Alice Oseman book that I've really heard talked about a lot, and there probably is more, and I'm blanking them, but is it Radio Silence? I've heard loads of really good things about that book. And I really am interested in reading this one. I'm adding it to my TBR. I think it sounds like a really fascinating book. I feel like I need to read more LGBTQ books. I do read a few, but I haven't really delved into them as much as I feel like I should have. And so yeah, I'm really excited to read Edith's favourite book. The next booktuber that I want to talk about is Lucy from Crescent Pages. And Lucy is a channel that I have really enjoyed watching. She does vlogs, specifically talking about the books that she's reading. So for example, I watched recently a video where she did the Queen of Air and Darkness vlog, where she was reading that book and then she talked about it throughout, and I just really enjoyed listening to her talk about it. I have not read that book, but for some reason I decided to watch that whole video and I'm not even upset about it. I haven't even started that series yet, so I feel like by the time I get to it I'll have definitely forgotten everything she said about it. But yeah, I just really enjoyed sort of watching that video and the other videos that she does. I just think they're really fascinating, and I don't know, there's just something about her that just makes me really like her. She seems like a really personable and just lovely person. So yeah, I'm really excited to continue on watching her videos. And she gave me 2 books that were her favourites. The first one is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid, which has so much buzz on BookTube right now. I feel like everybody is talking about it. I haven't read it and I am hoping to read it at some point. To be honest, I'm not like wanting to rush out and read it because I don't really read books that are really kind of like popular just at the time that they're really popular and hyped, because I just feel like I always feel let down by them and I'm really disappointed that I don't like them as much as other people do. As much as I know about it is that there is, I think it's of Evelyn Hugo telling the story of her life. And is she telling a journalist like who the first love of her life was, or who the biggest love of her life was, and the person she says was not one of her 7 husbands, and I think it's to do with that. Like I said, I don't really know too much else about it, but I am interested to read it, and I think that now that Lucy has sort of recommended it, I'm definitely keen to get to it. And her second choice was The Secret History by Donna Tartt. You may all know that I'm planning on reading this book for the challenge that me and Hayley Marie reads. I'll link that video down below, where we're basically reading books that were popular the year we were born. This was one of the books that was popular in 1992, which was the year I was born, and I have added it to my list and I'm really hoping to read it in the next few months. That is the plan. I don't really know too much about it. I think it's about a class that are under the influence of their charismatic classics professor, and they kind of go it says, when they go beyond the boundaries of normal morality, their lives are changed profoundly and forever. So I don't really know anything about it. I've heard really good things about Donna Tartt's writing in general, so I'm excited for this one. And again, it's been recommended by Lucy, so I can't wait to get to it finally. Next up is one of the booktubers that I've probably been following for the longest, and I've watched her videos forever, like before I even started doing solely booktube, and that is Sam from Sam's Nonsense. Sam is such a wonderful, wonderful person, and I love, love, love her videos. She does read very differently to me. She reads a lot of like high fantasy and fantasy in general, and that's generally not really my genre, but for some reason I just love her videos. She's into Christmas in a very big way. I'll link a video that she did down below where I was part of a collaboration that she did, where she basically brought together a lot of booktubers' memories of Christmas and put them into one video. So I'll link that down below so you can go and check it out, because I absolutely love that video, and it was a great honour to be part of it as well. Sam is a channel who I followed, like I said, for a really long time. I absolutely love her, and she commented on my status saying what her favourite book was, and I could not have been happier, because I would love to shout her out because I think she's amazing. Like I said, most people probably know her already because she has a lot more subscribers than me, but either way, if you don't know her, you should go and check her out, and if you do know her, go and watch more of her videos because she's so, so wonderful. And I'm really interested because Sam's choice was not what I was expecting her to pick, honestly, but not the type of book anyway. So she picked The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden, which is a book that I got received from the Chocolate and a Book subscription box that I absolutely loved, and I made a few videos about that, so I'll link that playlist down below as well. But I have not read this yet. I really need to get to it. I'm really interested because I'm pretty sure Charlie from Charlie Brooke, who by the way is one of the most amazing people that I've ever met on BookTube, and in general, she has I think just recently read the sequel to this and loved it, so I feel like I need to hurry up and get to the first one. So this just says, in a village at the edge of the wilderness of northern Russia, where the winds blow cold and the snow falls many months of the year, an elderly servant tells stories of sorcery, folklore, and the Winter King to the children of the family, tales of old magic frowned upon by the church. But for the young wild Vasya, these are far more than just stories. She alone can see the house spirits that guard her home and sense the growing forces of dark magic in the woods. So I guess I can see why this would be Sam's type of book. I mean, obviously you don't have to just like one type of book, but I think this does have that sort of fantasy element to it, but I think it's just it sounds like a really beautiful story, and I've heard, like I said, really good things. It's a story set in Russia, which I've not read very many of, and I'm just really excited to get to this one eventually. Next up is the wonderful Zoe from the channel Reader Bee, and Zoe is a channel that I've really enjoyed as well. I've really enjoyed watching her videos. I think I heard about her channel from Nicole from A Beautiful Chaos of Books. I'm pretty sure that she mentioned her in a video, and since then I've loved her videos so much. And she actually gave me 3 book recommendations for her like favourite books, so I have a wide range to choose from. The first one is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J Maas, which is the second book, the Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy. I've read the first one, and I do own A Court of Mist and Fury, but it's on the shelf over there under a big stack of books, so I'm not going to get it right now, but it is the next one that I'm hoping, like the next one in the series I need to get to. I feel like it's a series that just really has a lot of polarising views. Like, some people love it, some people hate it. I really enjoyed the first book, and I've heard the second one is the best one of the 3. So like I said, I'm really wanting to get to the second one and just see what I think. So yeah, that sounds like a great recommendation to me. The second one she mentioned was The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. I believe this is about 2 colleagues who hate each other, and they have to work together, is it? Or maybe they're vying for the same job, and there's only one of them going to get it. I can't remember exactly the situation, but I think it's an adult contemporary, and a lot of people love this book. Like, this is a book that BookTube has really hyped up, so I'm quite excited to get to it. Like I said, it's not really my genre generally, but I am quite excited to give it a go and see what I think. So this is definitely being added to my TBR. And the third one she mentioned is a book I've actually read, which is Heartless by Marissa Meyer, and I 100% agree. I absolutely love this book. I gave it a 5-star. This is a prequel to Alice in Wonderland, and it talks about the Queen of Hearts before she became the Queen of Hearts, and about her kind of like growing up into the Queen of Hearts. And I love this. I think Marissa Meyer does fairy tale retelling so well. I've read now the first 3 books in the Lunar Chronicles and loved all 3 of them. So yeah, I just think she can do no wrong in my eyes at this point. So yeah, I love, love, love Heartless, and if you haven't read it, I would 100% recommend that you do, because it's such a wonderful story. And then the 5th and final booktuber that I want to talk about in this video is Karina from Bookish Babbles, and I love her channel. Firstly, she's absolutely stunning, but secondly, she's just really funny, and I watch her videos and I always laugh. Like, she did a video, that the first one of hers that I watched, I remember, was a video where she was reading out, I think it was like Wattpad stories that she'd written when she was younger, and she was like cringing at them and talking about them, and it was just so funny. I absolutely loved her. I really enjoy her talking about books in general, and yeah, it just, that she just makes me smile, and I can't kind of feel upset watching her videos. And her favourite book is Vampire Academy, and I believe it's by Rochelle Mead. I actually really want to read this series. I think it's a series. I think it's quite a long series as well. I've never read one of the books out of the series at all. I've read one Rochelle Mead book, which was Soundless, and I really, really enjoyed that. So I think that maybe her writing style is something that I'll enjoy. And I really want to get like a really good vampire story. I like the Twilight series, but I do feel like I've read it too many times now. And I really did not enjoy, what was the other one? The Vampire Diaries. I didn't enjoy the books to that. I enjoyed the TV show, but I really am interested to get another like vampire story and see what I think about it, because I feel like this is one of the best, like the highest talked about and like the most kind of like raved about series about vampires. So yeah, very excited about that. So there you have it, guys. Go and check out these 5 channels. They're all amazing. I absolutely love them all, and give them all the love and tell them that I sent you. If you liked this video and you enjoy these types of videos, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you on Monday for another video. Bye guys!